Dave. Well, Great Leaders Wanted. Did that catch your attention? Well, that's the name of a new book by Low Country author Doug Dickerson, and he's here with us today. Good morning.
Good morning.
And here's something I've always wondered, Doug. Is someone born with the leader DNA, or can someone be taught to be a leader?
Well, that's a great question, Tess, and I think it's a little bit of both. If you look at one of the classic definitions of leadership, it's simply influence. And so really it's about to what end. Every person, I believe, has the seeds of leadership within them. It's just about a matter of how it's going to be developed and nurtured along in their life. So really it's yes and no. It's a matter of, you know, the direction they have, the upbringing they have, how they use that influence to what end. Is it going to be something good, positive, or not? So I think everyone has the potential for leadership.
And they could be either a good leader or a bad leader.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah, you could look down through history and see leaders who had influence. That does not make them good. There were plenty of bad examples to choose from. But, and thankfully, though, there are many good examples as well.
Now, this is your second book. Why a book on leadership?
Well, leadership is such a needed trait and characteristics for people today. And Great Leaders Wanted really, in this book, is about helping people see the need for, help them to see the seeds of secrets of leadership that surround them, but also to help discover the seeds of leadership that reside in you. And it's filled with great examples. I love to tell stories. So there's plenty of stories in there, be it a Peanuts cartoon or a legendary football coach or a classic musical or a current leadership thinker. The book is chock full of examples of everyday people doing extraordinary things, and that's the beauty of it. Great leaders are everyday people just like you and I doing extraordinary things, and that's the purpose behind Great Leaders Wanted.
Now, what are three characteristics of a great leader? Well,
I define three simple characteristics of a great leader. What defines you is your passion, not your position. Okay, so oftentimes we think the mistake is made that your position is what makes you a great leader.
No.
And it's your passion. It's about discovering what your passion is and pursuing that. So if you take care of your passion, position will take care of itself. So that's one. Secondly, what defines you is your purpose, not your power. And this is where many leaders get tripped up in believing that to use their power and their position to what end, going back to that. But really it's about understanding that it's not your power, it's your purpose. What is your purpose in life? Pursuing your purpose and living that out on a daily basis. So I believe when you discover what your purpose is, power take care of itself. And don't get tripped up on the power part.
Pursue, which some people do.
They do.
Which makes them a bad leader.
Big downfall for many leaders. And thirdly, what defines you as a great leader is your principles, not your popularity. And so what we're talking about is looking for principle-based leadership, not those who are going to be having their finger to the wind, which way's the wind blowing, but really going after your passion, understanding that it's your principles, it's not your popularity. And this is, so oftentimes, Tessa, this is the biggest downfall in leadership that people have. It is, you know, and who doesn't want to be liked after all? We're great, wonderful people.
That's right,
but the point is, am I pursuing my passion, am I living my principles? That's got to come before popularity. And so these are just, you know, secrets to leadership, and these are the types of things that you'll find in the book Great Leaders Wanted.
And so, and I had a chance to kind of thumb through it, so this will be great for someone who wants to be a leader, for someone who's in a situation where they're not the leader, they're part of a company or an organization, and that way they can kind of identify what type of leader that they have.
And one of the points also too, Tess, is that sometimes you make the mistake of assuming that because you have the title or because you have the position, that makes you a leader. And it's really the person with the influence. That person may or may not have the title, but they are the leader.
All right. Now, where can they get your book, Great Leaders Wanted?
They can go to my website, www.dougsmanagementmoment.blogspot.com, or they can go to my publisher's website, tremendousLifeBooks.com.
And if they want to read something from you weekly, you're in the Daniel Island newspaper.
Daniel Island News every week.
All right. Thank you, Doug, for joining us. Thank you so much. Well, Mr. Dickerson was kind enough to bring a copy of his book here with him today just for you. And if you would like Great Leaders Wanted, just be our fourth caller right now. Give us a ring at 849-2535, and the fourth caller wins this copy. Well, imagine simply having an episode and falling to the ground. It's called LGS, a seizure disorder. Meet a parent who's helping his son through it next.